Hi, and thanks for joining us today. On today's show, we round up the previous game against Swansea, look forward to the Leicester game, and there's also the small matter of Virgil van Dijk being announced officially as a Liverpool player. As always, we'll have predictions and fantasy advice, so sit back. Surely none of us can relax because we've got Van Dijk, but hell, join us anyway, over the pool and far away. Okay, on today's show, I'm joined by Chris Ridgen from the Red Rebel Alliance. Chris, season's greetings. How's it going, mate?
Very well, thanks. Did you have a good Christmas?
Oh, I had an excellent Christmas, and as you know, got exactly what I wanted for Christmas in the form of Virgil van Dijk.
Yeah, certainly did.
Obviously, that's where we're going to be starting today, because let's face it, that's all anyone who's associated with Liverpool's talking about at the moment. £75 million. We'll come to the figure in a moment, but first of all, the more important thing, as Klopp said, let's just view the player as what he is. Let's take the figure out there. What is so special about Virgil van Dijk for you that Liverpool would put him ahead of pretty much every other defender in the world, really?
Pretty much everything. His personal ability on the ball, in the air, and his vocal ability is one of the main things. He's going to be making sure everybody's where they should be. He's just a full package.
He certainly is. As you say there, leadership. Our back four is desperately crying out for leaders. I think we've got one. I've watched quite a bit of him at Southampton, and he's forever screaming at the back four to get in position. Even the defensive midfielders in front of him, he's telling them where to be. He just seems like a natural leader to me. In terms of what he brings on the pitch, just for himself, he's the total package. I don't know why people are questioning him at all. I don't see any weakness in his game. Aerially, he's phenomenal. As good a centre back as I've ever seen in the air. He can play on either side, left or right of the centre back, which seems to be a big thing these days. He's comfortable reading the defence, and there's that American in me, the defence.
Yeah, I noticed that one. I'm going to start pulling you up every time. 10p in a swear jar for your American.
You know what? I don't mind. And as I say, there's a lot of Americans in here who listen to this, so we'll keep going with the defence. No, but defensively, he reads the game brilliantly. He's excellent at making interceptions. Brilliant at bringing the ball out. Just everything you could ever want from a centre back, really. I know he hasn't reached the heights yet, but it's very difficult to do that. No offence to Celtic or Southampton, but it's very difficult for anyone to really pay that much attention when you're at those clubs. I think now that he's at Liverpool, this is his chance to step up and become the complete modern day defender that we all know he can be.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's why one or two people are a little bit wary of it, because he hasn't been amazing this season, and obviously there's his injury record as well. But his head had been turned, and once he basically in the summer thought he was going to be starting this season in a Liverpool shirt. It's as simple as that. And when you don't get that, it's not. I mean, you could say the same happened with Coutinho and Barcelona, but moving from Liverpool to Barcelona is sort of the last step. Moving from Southampton to Liverpool is a huge step. And he thought he'd already made it, and I think that's why he hasn't really been at the races. And it's not like he's been awful. He has on a couple of appearances, but it's not like he's been awful. But Southampton haven't exactly helped him out playing the way that they've been playing.
Well, that's what I love about Klopp, in that you say there that moving from Liverpool to Barcelona is the last step. He doesn't believe that, and over time I believe that that's going to be eradicated under Klopp. You're not going to get players who move here and believe that Barcelona is the final step in their career. And it was interesting to see actually that Ronaldo, Luis de Nazario, not the crying Portuguese, he turned around and said to Coutinho a word of caution about going to Barcelona, because they've never really taken to Brazilians, and when you think about it, he's right. Ronaldo was never loved the way he was loved at Real Madrid. Romario was never loved the same way. Ronaldinho was never loved the same way. They've all had problems. Maybe, just maybe, it's not the... even Thiago Alcantara didn't get the opportunities of a player of his ability. He ended up having to go to Bayern Munich. So maybe he's touched on something. I'd say probably the only exception to that rule probably would be Dani Alves, who they absolutely adored.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's not something that I've even thought about myself. I mean, you could say Neymar was obviously a success there, but yeah, you could be right there.
Just something to think about anyway. Obviously, it's all about transfers. We're going back to Van Dijk. Who do you have partnering him?
Well, I'd have Matip in there straight away. I think Matip has struggled next to centre halves that aren't as comfortable as him on the ball. I think he's felt like he's had to do more work than he should have to do. He's felt like he's been on his own a lot of the time. So I would pair them two up because you're going to get more out of Matip then. I'd also be tempted, depending on who we're playing, I'd be tempted to use the full-backs more as wing-backs. It's been touched on the podcast before. And put young Joe Gomez in there as well.
Well, you like the three at the back, but Klopp tends to prefer the four. I think we're going to see some changes tactically. Whether he goes from 4 to 3, I don't know. But, well, I don't know long term. I think you'll definitely see that in certain games. The thing,
it might be more of an in-game change than from the start.
Possibly. Well, the thing that you notice with Gomez is he tucks in as a centre back naturally. Anyway, he's not a marauding right back. And when Moreno or Robertson go forward, we do end up having like a 3 at the back.
Yeah, it naturally sort of moves over, especially when Milner's playing as well, because he'll automatically fill in on the right hand side then as well.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, it's really hard to stay kind of grounded, because I'm starting to get really excited now. I look at the team that we're building.
With you saying that, we could in effect become as fluid at the back as we are up front. Now, whether that would be dangerous or not, I don't know, but it's an interesting thought.
Well, the thing that Matip and Van Dijk both give you is composure. Neither of them are going to panic on the ball. I know Matip's passing hasn't always been up to scratch, and that's difficult for me to admit because I love Matip. But I will tell it like I see it, and he has given the ball away a couple of times. But I think that's just learning the pace of the league, and I think giving him a season under his belt this season, and getting Van Dijk next to him in a settled back four with either Robertson or Moreno, and maybe when Klein comes back, or Gomez or Trent Alexander-Arnold, whoever you like. I now look at our defence and go, well, it's not world class. It's not really close to world class, but it's you can trust it a lot more with the players that we've got in there now.
Yeah, definitely. It shouldn't be. Should I say? It shouldn't be a bad defence now. And even you can trust maybe Lovren and Klavan and Gomez to step in if one of the other two is injured, because you're not having to start them all the time. So you can maybe trust them. If it's true that Lovren's been taking 5-6 painkillers before every game, then he's not up to playing every week anyway. We might see better out of him as a bit of a bit part player.
Yeah.
The other point is, do we still go in for another one as well?
Question is there though, just before we come to that, do you see Lovren being happy enough to be a squad player?
I don't think it'll be a matter of him being happy enough. I think it might be a matter of us not wanting to pay his wages for him to sit on the bench. I think he's on quite a bit of money.
Exactly. Yeah, good point. So you think this could be the end of the road for Lovren?
It could well be, yeah. Especially with once you come to next season, Gomez is that year older. Hopefully, we'll start seeing him more at centre half than at right back. And like I just touched on there, I think we'll probably still be in the market for another one anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. I think it all comes together naturally. I wouldn't be surprised to see another centre back coming in, whether it's De Vrij, whether it's. I've got to be honest. I've heard a lot about this Akanji. Never seen him kick a ball. Never seen him play. I probably have seen him in terms of like watching highlights for Bâle. Like in the Champions League and that, if he gets a game there, but I've never seen him in terms of I've noticed who he is or anything like that. So strange that he should just come out of nowhere. Some people are saying that he's pretty much going to be a done deal. Other people are saying he was Van Dijk's replacement if Van Dijk didn't come. What do you think yourself?
Again, I don't know enough about the lad. It's come completely out of left field for me. I don't know anything about the lad at all. So, like you, I might have seen him and not realised. And if I've not realised, then I'm not exactly going to be saying we should be going for him. I've obviously seen Basel play in the Champions League numerous occasions, and I don't even know who the kid is.
Fair enough. I just wanted to bring his name in, to be honest, because he was being linked with us and let's be honest.
Hey, listen, we've bought players before I've never heard of.
Yeah, none of us know who he is, and I'm not saying that's a bad thing in terms of we shouldn't buy him. I'm just saying it's right for us to mention him on the podcast, but we're not going to sit here and start talking about players we don't know. Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly.
The interesting one for me is that we're still being linked with De Vrij even after Van Dijk. International teammates.
Yeah.
Complement each other's game, I would say. So, would you be opposed to De Vrij for the? I believe it's supposed to be 25 million.
What a partnership that would be. I would be more inclined to go for Delight, but that's purely because of how much game time they may or may not get. If we sign De Vrij, he's going to want to play. And with what we've just been saying about Matip, if Matip comes on to be the player that you've had me to believe he is, then whoever comes in might have to sit on the bench, and at 18 years old, Delight might be more happy to do that.
Well, I'd say, not blowing my own horn, but I'd say I've got a decent record where scouting is concerned. And
yeah.
I see...
No, that wasn't a knock at you.
No, I'm just saying.
Than I did.
I see Matip proving a lot of people wrong. You can't be as good as he was in Germany and not, once you're settled. The only question is, can he settle in the Premier League? And I believe he can. And I believe that it's just been very difficult for him to settle because he's gone from a Schalke team where they've been completely settled and he's been the man, to a Liverpool team where you're wondering who's going to cock up first. There doesn't seem to be any sort of rhyme or reason to the defence at times, and I think that's got to be very difficult when you're coming into a new country and a new league, especially a league like the Premier League.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've not played a settled back four all season. We've not even played a settled keeper all season, so it can't be easy for these lads when they're coming into a new country. That's what we need now. We need a little bit of stability back there. Okay. We probably do now need a keeper after me defending Mignolet for a long time. I think it's probably time now. Whether Karius will manage to pick his game up or not, I don't know. But I think we'll probably be in the market for one of them as well.
Yeah. Interesting what Mourinho's trying to do. As always, he's got his own agenda. Most of us can see through it, but not everyone. And Klopp was saying that he didn't believe that he wanted football. I think I can't remember the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of, if we're going to start buying players for 100 million, football's not something I want to be a part of.
Yeah.
Obviously, I could understand exactly where he was coming from, and in the context at the time, it wasn't seen as a crazy thing to say. Because Mourinho's trying to squeeze more money out of Manchester United and get them to compete on a Manchester City level, in terms of, well, do you know what? I'm sort of buying into it myself there. Man United have hardly spent that much less than Man City, and especially when it comes to wages, they've actually spent a lot more.
Gone really quiet there, mate.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, when it comes to wages, Man United have actually spent more than Man City. And I think Mourinho trying to call out Klopp and saying, oh, well, you said you didn't want it to be all about money and all that. Just want to give you an example of how far-fetched what he's saying is. Paul Pogba, at the time when no one would have dreamed of paying 90 million for a player, they set the market with Pogba.
Yeah.
So he completely ignores that fact. Paul Pogba was 90 million and is on 290 grand a week. Romelu Lukaku, they paid 75 million for, and he's on 250 grand a week. I can't remember what City paid for Sergio Aguero. I'll be perfectly honest, but he's on 220 grand a week. Yaya Touré's still on 220 grand a week. Ibrahimovic, to sit on the bench at the moment, is on 220 grand a week. Kevin De Bruyne is on 200 grand a week. David De Gea is on 200 grand a week. Eden Hazard is on 200 grand a week. Virgil van Dijk clocks in at 180 grand a week. So basically, he's on 110,000 less than Pogba. Coutinho, who we paid 8.5 million for, is on 180 grand a week. The disparity, Sturridge 150 grand a week. Milner 120 grand a week. I mean, I could name, I'll tell you how many. Yeah, here's the Man U and Man City players on this list: Smalling, Otamendi, Kompany, Joe Hart, Luke Shaw, Kyle Walker, Raheem Sterling, Henrik Mkhitaryan, Juan Mata, and the ones I've just named. We've got 4 players on that list.
Yep.
And he's got the nerve to turn around and say, oh, well, Klopp spent money. We've done it once. We've finally set the market for the first time I can remember. Andy Carroll was a bit of an anomaly, should we say. It was a panic buy, it was stupid, and we paid the price for it. But in terms of setting the market, Liverpool just don't do it. Over the last 20 years, that's the only time we've done it. And finally, we've gone out. And even then, it still took the fact that we screwed up the first time. That's why we've had to pay an extra 25 million through our own incompetence. It would have been 50 to 60 million, so 25 to 15 million. What FSG have said there is, this is on us, guys. We're going to back our manager. We made the mistake, we're going to pay for the mistake, and we're still going to get what we promised. And that's a huge signal of intent from FSG. They've now paid 60 million, which is a premium, for Naby Keita, just to make sure that he signs next season. Not this season, next season. And they've now paid 75 million to own up to their own mistake, that we should have had Van Dijk from the beginning of this season. That's their owners who are, they're not here to make money in terms of just money. They want to win. You don't go out and spend that kind of money on players of that calibre unless you're trying to win. There's no two ways.
They do want to make money, but they want to make money by being successful. That's what they've done in the past, and
exactly. And we've said from day one, that's their business model.
Yeah, definitely. You were saying there about, obviously, Keita coming in. That's a great bit of business, because he the way he's going about his business this season, that price was only going to go up and up, and other people would have been in for him as well, so that's a great signing. Virgil van Dijk's a great signing. I think that, going back to what you were saying before, I think the last time we actually sent the benchmark was probably when we signed Stan Collymore.
Yeah.
That's how long ago it is that we actually signed somebody that was a record transfer deal.
Yeah, exactly, and that was over 20 years ago.
Yeah.
We were talking mid-90s, wasn't it?
Yeah. So yeah, happy days.
It's just not something we do, and when we do, that was the other stupid quote that he come out with. He said, Van Dijk, he's not Maldini, he's not Bergami, and he's not Rio Ferdinand. 3 players have finished their career. Rio
Yeah.
Ferdinand wasn't Rio Ferdinand when Manchester United broke the Premier League
That was
touchdown record for a
ridiculous, wasn't it?
defender. Anyone with any right mind can see through his idiocy and his agenda straight away. He's not Rio Ferdinand. No, he's not. He's actually a far more talented player than Rio Ferdinand. It's just
he
the
just
fact that
hasn't
Rio
had time to do
Ferdinand.
what he's done in the game yet.
Yeah, exactly. Rio Ferdinand's got 7 years on him in terms of meaningful football. So let's come back to that in 7 years and say, is he Rio Ferdinand? Because I'll have you a good bet now that he's a damn sight better than Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah, well, I think I've said this before. I think Rio Ferdinand's one of the most overrated centre halves
He is,
we've ever had in this
massively.
country.
And the
So-
thing is, he's the kind of centre back. If you put him in Spain, they just go, eh. It's the fact
Yeah.
that at the time in the Premier League, there weren't players who could do what he does. Now the Premier League's full of players that can do what he did.
Yeah, like pass it to the closest man.
Yeah, basically. bring the ball forward 4 or 5 yards without getting tackled. Oh, he's definitely worth 30 million plus.
Yeah.
No, Van Dijk. If Van Dijk lives up to his billing and his ability, listen, this isn't just me saying it. Claude Puel was his manager, and he turned around and said, "He can be the best in the world."
Yeah.
And I remember long before we had any chance of really signing him, about 5 or 6 podcasts ago, I remember saying to you, it's like Thiago Silva. It's that kind of deal. That's what we've done. Just because he's not Brazilian and he didn't play for AC Milan, but he's got all the same kind of attributes. He's got the ability to be the best in the world. It's just some people know it, some people don't.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. And on the money aspect, I mean, it's got that silly now. It's got to a point where the money almost doesn't matter. As long as you get the right man in, the money's becoming irrelevant the higher and higher it gets, because it's just ridiculous.
Well, that's the other thing. Mourinho saying, "Oh, well, you're signing defenders for the price of strikers." Well, the only strikers that reach that kind of level are the ones you've bought in the Premier League.
Yeah.
So there's that. 2, I don't hear you saying about the fact that Joe Gomez cost us 3.5 million or 5.5 million, whatever it was, or 4.5 million. Very nominal amounts in terms of football.
Yeah.
Don't hear anyone saying that. 3, I don't hear them saying anything about Joel Matip and the fact that he came on a free.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And how much did you pay for Luke Shaw to sit him on the bench and tell him that he's not good enough to play for Man United? How much did you pay for him to get replaced by a left winger? Don't piss on my head and tell me it's raining, mate. Do you know what I mean? I just
it's
see
all manipulation. You were right when you said that right at the start. It's all manipulation. And yeah, you can say we're spending strikers kind of money on a centre half, but if we needed a striker, we'd spend it on a striker.
Exactly.
We're plugging the holes that we've got. Finally, we're plugging the holes that we've got. So I'm happy with that.
Yeah,
He
and
can
exactly
spread it.
what did we spend for Firmino, Mane, Salah and Coutinho in comparison to what they spent for Pogba and Lukaku? Swings and roundabouts, mate.
We'd have change just out of one of those deals. We'd still have change.
Exactly. Out of the man's a fool. He is a fool. He's a desperate fool at the moment. He wants more money. He wants to try and buy his way out of trouble. Like I said at the beginning of the season, even before all this happened, I said, come January, he's going to be looking to buy his way to the title. Well, he can't buy his way to the title. He can't do it.
That's all he's ever done.
But he can't do it this season. So
No.
it's even more desperate than it usually is. Anyway, screw Mourinho. Goretzka, what do you think? Yes or no?
Say that again, sorry.
Leon Goretzka,
Yes.
do you think he's coming?
I hope so. I
German
don't know.
newspaper
There's been
Bild.
whispers, haven't there?
German newspaper Bild, who are a decent source, not a great source, but a decent one. They say that Liverpool have moved ahead in terms of where he wants to go. He won't be signing for Schalke, so it's between Bayern Munich, Liverpool, Manchester United, Barcelona, and us, apparently.
That's interesting, because now he's got if he's looking around them clubs, who they've signed and who they've got coming in, he's just watched us sign Van Dijk. He knows Keita's coming, who he's going to get to play next to.
And he knows that Keita's the best midfielder in Germany. Everyone knows that, who plays in Germany. It's not a secret.
It's got to be some pull, that, isn't it?
Yeah, and this is another thing I wanted to say. Oxlade-Chamberlain turns down Chelsea to come to Liverpool. Keita turns down Barcelona to come to Liverpool. Virgil van Dijk turns down a virtually guaranteed Premier League winners medal, all the money in the world at City, and signs for Liverpool.
Yep.
Yeah, Klopp out, FSG out. Do you know what I mean? Where are these people coming from?
Oh, I have no idea. New age fans, mate.
Anyway, we'll move on from that. As you can tell, we're very excited. If we get Goretzka, oh my god. So I might just
we might have to
keel over
turn
with
the
joy.
podcast down a few octaves if we get him as well.
Mate. Do you know what though? It's kind of starting to feel like in the past I would have gone, nah, he's going to Barcelona definitely. But now, I've said it before on this podcast, I like to use it because it's the Matrix. I'm beginning to believe. I'm beginning to believe.
Good, yeah. I think that's the general feeling around the place now as well.
It's such optimism, and from where we were to where we are.
Yeah, for most quarters that's true. We still got the odd.
Every fan base.
But it's always the same. It's always the same section. So
even that section will have been shut up a little bit because they would all go, "No, it's FSG. They won't pay that. They deliberately." Yeah. The best one I heard was they deliberately screwed up the deal for Van Dijk.
Yeah, that's the 50 million was never there.
Yeah, they deliberately screwed it up to then pay 25 million extra later. Genius. Well done, you.
Yep.
So
where are these people now?
Swansea game, just a small matter of a 5-0 tonkin that we handed out to Swansea. I will preface it with the fact that they were the worst team to come to Anfield this season.
Yeah, I think we're absolutely shocking, but I mean, we only really played for 45 minutes. We were very, very lacklustre, very wasteful in the first half, and we still could have been 3 or 4-0 up at half time. Second half, moved through the gears and just blew them away pretty much.
Yeah, we did, and Coutinho was just, he just put on a clinic of attacking midfield play. It was breathtaking to watch, and you know me, I'll call Coutinho out when I see it, but that was the kind of performance where I don't care who the opposition were, on that day they would not have got near him. He was just breathtaking to watch.
Yeah, he was brilliant. He was all over the place. His footwork was class. Some of his little passes, his clips over the top, and some of the balls that he saw before I even saw them and he's obviously at pitch level, were just outstanding.
His vision, his movements on and off the ball, his skill, the way he took his goal, 10 out of 10.
It wasn't a bad finish, was it?
Well, it's Coutinho, isn't it? We've come to expect it now, and I've been one of those people who've said, like, I haven't seen him do it for an entire season. This is the closest I'm seeing.
Yeah,
this is the best run of
when he came back from his injury, wasn't there? But that was just him getting back to pace, I think.
Yeah.
But I think you're right. He's the most consistent he's been.
I'll take that into consideration, obviously, because of the fact that he had Barcelona turning his head, and because of the fact he was quote unquote injured. I still don't think there was much to that injury, to be honest. The cynic in me just says he wasn't in the right place mentally, and Klopp needed to let him know, because as soon as he came to time to play for Brazil, there was no lasting effects from this so-called injury. He didn't skip
some flight that, weren't it? It must have been some masseuse on that flight, because it was all right, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's it. Big shout out to Trent Alexander-Arnold, first goal at Anfield in front of the Kop. The way he wheeled away, it just reminds me of Steven Gerrard.
Yeah,
Got the
yeah. I
same
thought he had a very good
celebration.
game as well.
He had an excellent game, other than one or two defensive mistakes that maybe a better team would have made us pay for on another day. I thought he was excellent. The one that stands out is that header at the back post.
Yeah,
I don't know who it was who was coming onto it. I'm gonna take a guess and say it was Olsen, because it seemed to be like from the left back position.
yeah,
It could have been Ayew though on the left wing. But whoever it was, they got the run on him. He got caught ball watching. If they'd have gone with more conviction, who knows? But he's a young lad. He's going to make mistakes, as long as he learns from them, the same way that Gomez will. Yeah, I'd give him a 8 out of 10. Thought he was excellent. I'd give him a 10 out of 10 going forward.
yeah. Some of his passes, his balls inside were really, really good. Early crosses, nice early crosses. What strikers love to see.
Yeah, some of his crossing's amazing, and I think as he plays more with Firmino, I think Firmino's going to gamble more. There was a couple there where he was just a little bit off, and as they play more together, that timing and that understanding will grow, and that will be the source of goals for us, because Firmino's a very underrated header of the ball.
Yeah, he is, and it's something we talked about last time as well. If it was an Aubameyang, they would already be taking that gamble and maybe getting on the end of one or two of them. So it remains to be seen whether we'll still bring in a number 9 as well.
Yeah, not much more for me to add, to be honest, personally, other than I will say that Chan was absolutely pathetic in the first half. Looked like he was already a Juventus player in his head. And in the second half, I don't know whether Klopp called him out. I don't know whether something flicked the switch with him, and he was excellent in the second half. I would probably actually give him a 9. I thought he was outstanding. I thought he ran the midfield in the second half.
Yeah, I actually said after the game, even Chan played well. But you're right, in the first half it was all over the place, but we didn't play particularly well in the first half as a team anyway. But yeah, I think you've pretty much covered everything now. Good, great result.
Well, on to Anfield again, and Leicester are the opponents this week. How do you see that one going? Well, I'll give you like a little bit of a lead in for this one, because we've got 2 games in, is it 3 days?
Yeah.
So fixtures wise, that's congestion. So in terms of, I'm not even going to ask you to try and say like what you think the lineup's going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to say to you, what do you think that with a rotated team we'd have enough to beat Leicester, or do you think he's going to go no changes or slight changes?
Okay. Hello?
What do you reckon?
I think we will rotate, and I think it'll be this one that we rotate for. I can see Salah possibly being on the bench, with a view that Burnley will be harder to break down on New Year's Day than Leicester will be. So I think the Leicester game will be fairly comfortable.
See, that surprises me, that, because I don't see anything comfortable about it. I see a resurgent Leicester team who've taken points off the top teams, who are deadly on the counter-attack, so you're going to have to be on it. And I do worry about the fact that we have one eye on Burnley, whereas I don't think Leicester have one eye on Huddersfield. I think they'll be more like, this is our game, and then we'll let the chips fall where they may against Huddersfield, because we should beat them anyway at home. Whereas I think, like you say there, it's difficult. I don't know the mentality of it. I certainly can't see the full front four playing. There's going to be some kind of rotation there. There's going to be some kind of, like, personally, I think it could be Firmino out for Solanke. I think you're right. I think Salah could come out for Mane.
Yeah.
I think Coutinho could play this one.
Yeah, I think he'll play this one. I think I think I think he'll probably play them both. To be honest, I don't think Salah will play because he's the one that's been in the side virtually every week. But yeah, I think what you were saying about Leicester there, not having one eye on Huddersfield, I think they would be happy to come out of 2 games with 3 points, and then they're more likely to get them from Huddersfield. So will they even rest players coming into us, or do you not think that's something they'll even look at?
No chance at all. They love to play a big game, and the mentality there from the likes of Vardy, Okazaki. Okazaki will play this game, he won't play against Huddersfield. And he's their difference maker. Okazaki, he's the one who lights that attack on fire. Everyone talks about Vardy's goals and Mahrez's skill and all that, but it's Okazaki's work rate that causes chaos.
Yeah.
And I think you'll see a fully fledged, spot-on Leicester team ready to take advantage of any perceived weakness in our team.
Yeah, I think if you sit somebody on Mahrez, then the supply line's gone. And as long as we do that, I can see it being quite comfortable, and I'd like a 2-0 win. I just can't see them bringing enough.
Well, I won't do my prediction yet because you've jumped the gun there a little bit.
I have, yeah.
But I'll say I think we do rest play. I think the back 4 stays the same as it was. I think, other than I think Gomez comes in.
Yeah.
That's the only change to the back 4, I believe.
Yep. It's his turn, isn't it?
I think the midfield, I think Oxlade-Chamberlain gets rested for this one. I think you see Milner. Actually, no, because we haven't really got the players to that. No, I'll say he goes with the same midfield 3. Because Henderson's not there. And
you're breaking up, mate.
Henderson's not there. So it's going to be difficult to rotate. And Lallana, is he ready to start this game?
If he does, I think Coutinho doesn't.
Exactly. And in this game, I
think
Coutinho starts this one. I don't know. You know what? You could go round and round and round in this. There's no sort of rhyme or reason to it in terms of.
No. The only one that you can be fairly sure of is the right back, who seems to just switch one. Trent played the last one, so Gomez will play this one. You could pretty much put you out on that, but everything else.
Yeah. And I think
because
Milner
if we
plays.
can't second guess him and we're watching it every week, then the opposition are not going to either.
Exactly. And I think Milner plays. I think that's pretty much nailed on. And as I say, I think this is the one where Solanke comes to the fore, and he gives him another chance to show what he's capable of.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well with the little bits and pieces that we've seen of him.
Yeah.
So looks a bargain, doesn't he?
He does. So on to predictions. We'll wrap up with predictions. As you can tell, it's a shorter show this week. We've taken into account some of the feedback. So we're going to try and get it to 45 minutes from now on. Bournemouth against Everton.
2-1 Bournemouth.
Agreed. I think Callum Wilson is a big return for Bournemouth and could start winning them games again.
They've massively missed him on these some player.
They've lacked the focal point, and I've said for a long time he's one of the most underrated centre forwards in this league.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Chelsea versus Stoke.
3-0 Chelsea.
I'll say 3-1. I think Stoke have got a goal in them. Don't think Chelsea are prime Chelsea at the moment. I've completely lost where it was. Huddersfield against Burnley.
I think we're back to the podcast rule this time. 1-0 Burnley.
Oh no, the podcast rule's only if they're at home.
Ah, well, they're taking it on the travels this time.
Yeah. I'll say 1-1. 6 points there for Huddersfield, not so much for Burnley. Burnley are a better version of Huddersfield, but I think the fact it's a 6-pointer and Huddersfield are at home, they need the points more. Liverpool, actually we'll leave Liverpool to last. Newcastle versus Brighton.
Newcastle absolutely desperate for points, and if they're going to get them, it's got to be from games like this. I'm going to go 2-1 Newcastle.
Do you know what? You've changed, because I asked you this midweek, and you said I'm going to go 1-0 Newcastle. So
is that what I went for? 1-0 Newcastle.
You did, and I'm going to stick with mine.
2-1 Newcastle this time.
I'm going to stick with mine, which was a crazy one. I'm going to say 3-2 Newcastle. I've just got a feeling it's going to be a weird game. You know, like when everyone says if you look left, if everyone looks left, you look right.
Yeah,
it's going to be one of them. Watford v Swansea.
Watford 3-1.
Watford 3-1. I'll go with that. I like that.
Yeah.
Man U Southampton.
1-0. You might as well just have that down for my guess for United every week. Boring 1-0.
I'll say 2-1 United. Crystal Palace versus Man City.
Palace looking better and actually scoring a few goals as well as looking a bit more stable at the back, but it's Man City. 3-0.
I'll say 5-2 City.
I'll be watching that one.
Based on what I saw against Arsenal, Palace caused them
I
problems.
didn't watch the game last night. I only saw the result in the morning.
Yeah, caused them problems at time, and City are just a much better version of Arsenal. They'll keep the ball better, they'll score more goals. I might even be giving them too much in terms of 5-2, but I've said it now, so what the hell.
You would have thought that though in the last game when you 80% possession but only won 1-0.
Yeah, true.
Maybe it's a start of a blip. We can pray. We can hope.
Well, I'm not really bothered.
It's not, is it?
It's not. We're not in that conversation. West Brom against Arsenal.
West Brom have been pretty poor, but it's the kind of game that Arsenal are not going to like. I'm going to go 2-1 Arsenal.
I think Arsenal win it. I think they win it quite comfortably as well. I'll say 4-1.
I think when you asked me earlier in the week, I think I might have even gone 1-0 West Brom, with that. I think it'll be a very close game.
It all depends when I catch you, doesn't it? Whatever time of the day. Yeah, so that's everything other than the Liverpool game. So I'm going to say 2-1 Liverpool.
And I'm going to say 2-0.
2-0. Any goal scorers?
Mane, and that kind of gives away the Fantasy League prediction as well, because it's about time he showed up to the party again.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I think this is going to be Mane's comeback game, and I would like to see Solanke on the score sheet as well. Yeah,
it would be nice for him to get a goal.
I think he is doing everything right, and he just needs to start knocking the ball in the net now for people to be paying a bit more attention to.
I think there'd be a lot more attention paid to him if he was sticking the ball in the net, because his work rate is well up there, and he seems to have drifted straight into what Klopp wants him to do.
He's absolutely excellent. Any fantasy player predictions other than Mane?
Mane we've just mentioned, and one that you mentioned earlier, Callum Wilson being back.
I will say go with Chelsea players this week. I'll say Fabregas, Hazard and Morata, whichever one you can get in. Fabregas is cheap, cheerful, and Stoke will struggle a lot at the bridge, I think.
Yeah, they will.
So yeah, that's my shout. I'll say Fabregas. If you've still got Richarlison in, keep him. If you haven't, get him in, because he'll probably have a good game against Swansea as well.
Yeah, good shout.
So that's it. That nicely wrapped up. I feel like we've only done like a third of the podcast today from what we usually do.
I know, this is the future.
This is the future. You asked, we listened. So, thank you very much, Chris. All the best and Happy New Year.
Yeah, pleasure as always, mate. Have a good one.
You too, mate. Take it easy. I'll speak to you soon.
Alright, speak soon, mate.
So that's another one in the bag. Don't forget to tell your friends about us and join our Facebook group, Over the Pool and Far Away. Feel free to email us at otpafa@gmail.com or add me directly on Twitter, RichieOTP. For now though, I'll end as I always do. Actually I won't. I'll say I made up the Van Dijks here, because I'll just get that in one more time, and then I'll end as I always do by saying, come on Liverpool.